No one believes in you. You can feel it, even when no one says it out loud. It's in the way they look at you, the way they hesitate when you speak about your plans, the way they change the subject or nod politely, as if you're talking about something unrealistic. You're not taken seriously, not fully seen, not truly trusted, and if you're honest, it bothers you more than you'd like to admit. Because a part of you wants that recognition, that quiet approval, that moment where someone says, "I believe you can do it," but it never comes. Instead, you get doubt, silence, low expectations. You get people who assume you'll stay where you are, people who quietly decide your limits for you without ever asking what you're capable of. And that creates something heavy inside you, a quiet frustration, a slow burning anger. Not loud, not explosive, just constant. It sits in your chest when you're alone. It follows you when you try to focus. It whispers questions you don't want to answer. What if they're right? What if you're not enough? That's the part that hurts the most. Not their doubt, but the moment you start doubting yourself because of it. But here's the truth most people never realize. This situation, this exact moment, is not your disadvantage, it's your advantage. Because when no one believes in you, something important disappears. Expectation. No one is watching closely. No one is waiting for you to succeed. No one is counting on you. And that changes everything. Because now, you are free. Free from needing validation, free from performing for approval, free from explaining yourself. You don't have to convince anyone. You don't have to prove anything, yet. You can move quietly, work privately, build without pressure. Most people don't understand how powerful that is. When people believe in you too early, they create noise, expectations, opinions, pressure. They watch every move, they judge every mistake. They expect results before the process is even complete, and many people break under that weight. But you've been given something different. You've been given silence. And in that silence, you can focus. You can fail without being seen, adjust without being judged, grow without interruption. That's not weakness. That's a hidden advantage. Now the question is simple. What will you do with it? Because there are two types of people in your position. The first one wastes time trying to change opinions. They talk too much, explain too much, seek approval from people who have already decided not to give it. They argue, they defend themselves, they try to prove their worth with words, and slowly they stay stuck because their energy is going outward instead of inward. The second type is different. They say less, they observe more, they take that same doubt and convert it into something useful, focus. They don't waste time explaining their vision, they build it. They don't chase recognition, they earn it quietly. They understand something most people don't. Results speak in a language that doubt cannot argue with. So instead of asking, "Why don't they believe in me?" they ask, "What can I improve today?" And then they get to work. Not loudly, not dramatically, just consistently, day after day. They build habits when no one is watching. They sharpen their mind when no one is checking. They strengthen their discipline without needing applause. And that's where real belief begins. Not from others, from yourself. Because belief built on opinions is fragile. It disappears the moment someone criticizes you. It fades the moment things get difficult. But belief built through action is different. It's earned. Every time you do what you said you would do, you build it. Every time you stay consistent when it's inconvenient, you build it. Every time you push through resistance instead of avoiding it, you build it. Slowly. Quietly. You become someone you trust. And that's when everything changes. Because once you trust yourself, you don't need anyone else to believe in you. You already know. You know how you work. You know how you respond under pressure. You know how far you're willing to go. That kind of belief cannot be taken from you. It's not given. It's built. And it's built in moments exactly like this. Moments where no one is clapping. No one is encouraging. No one is expecting anything from you. This is where discipline is formed. Not when you feel motivated, not when everything is going well, but when it's quiet, when it's uncomfortable, when it feels like no one would notice if you stopped. And you choose to continue anyway. That's power. Not loud power, not visible power, controlled power. The kind that doesn't need attention because it's focused on progress. You don't need people to believe in your potential. Potential means nothing without execution. What matters is what you do repeatedly. What matters is how you show up when it's inconvenient. What matters is whether you can stay consistent long enough for results to become undeniable. Because eventually, they will. Not quickly, not suddenly, but gradually. And when that happens, something interesting changes. The same people who doubted you will start to notice. The same silence will turn into curiosity. The same low expectations will turn into surprise. But by then, it won't matter. Because you didn't build yourself for their approval. You built yourself because you decided to. And that's the difference. You are no longer reacting to doubt. You are operating from discipline. You are no longer seeking validation. You are producing results. And that shift is everything. Being underestimated is not a curse. It's a clean starting point. No pressure, no distractions, no expectations to meet except your own. It allows you to grow without interference. To become stronger without announcing it. To build something real without needing permission. So don't rush to change their minds. Don't waste energy trying to make people see your vision. Use that energy to improve yourself instead. Quietly, consistently, relentlessly. Let your work speak. Let your discipline speak. Let your results speak. Because in the end, belief from others is temporary. It comes and goes. It changes based on what they see. But belief built through your own actions, that stays. That becomes part of who you are. So if no one believes in you right now, good. That means you have space to grow without limits. It means you are not being watched, which means you can focus. It means you are not being pressured, which means you can build properly. It means the only person you need to answer to is yourself. And if you learn how to use that correctly, this will not be your weakness. It will be the reason you become stronger than anyone expected. Not because they doubted you, but because you stopped needing them to believe. And you built something real anyway. Stay where you are for a moment and look at it clearly. There was a time when their doubt felt like rejection, like something was missing in you, like you were behind, or incapable, or not ready. But now, you should be starting to see it differently. Their doubt didn't define you. It revealed you. It showed you exactly how much of your confidence was dependent on other people, how much of your motivation needed approval to survive. And that's a dangerous place to live. Because if your drive depends on being seen, it will disappear the moment you're ignored. If your discipline depends on encouragement, it will collapse the moment things get quiet. And life gets quiet often. There will be long periods where no one notices your effort. No one praises your consistency. No one understands the work you're putting in. That's not failure. That's the process. And most people can't handle it. They need feedback. They need recognition. They need reassurance that what they're doing matters. So when that disappears, they slow down. They hesitate. They stop. Not because they're incapable, but because they were never trained to stand alone. You are being trained differently. Every moment you continue without validation, you are strengthening something rare. Self-reliance. You begin to detach from the need to be seen. You stop announcing your next move. You stop explaining your goals to people who don't understand them. And in that silence, your focus sharpens. You start doing things for a different reason. Not to impress, not to prove, but to improve. That shift is quiet, but powerful. Because when your actions are no longer tied to approval, they become consistent. And consistency is what most people lack. Not intelligence, not talent, consistency. The ability to show up again and again without emotional support. The ability to keep going even when it feels repetitive. The ability to trust the process without needing constant results. That's where separation happens. That's where the gap between you and everyone else begins to grow. Slowly at first, almost invisible. But over time, undeniable. Because while others are waiting to feel ready, you are already moving. While others are looking for encouragement, you are building discipline. While others are explaining their plans, you are executing yours. And the longer you stay in that mindset, the more dangerous you become. Not to others, but to your old self. The version of you that needed permission. The version that hesitated. The version that waited to be believed in. That version starts to fade, replaced by someone quieter, more focused, more controlled. Someone who doesn't react emotionally to doubt, but uses it as direction. Because doubt highlights the gap. It shows you where people think your limits are, and instead of arguing, you expand beyond them. Not in theory, in reality, through action. Through repetition, through discipline that doesn't break when things get uncomfortable, and eventually, something shifts inside you. You stop asking, do they believe in me? And you start asking, did I do the work today? That question matters more. Because at the end of the day, results don't come from belief. They come from behavior. From what you do when no one is watching. From how you think when doubt tries to return. From how you respond when progress feels slow. This is where most people lose. Not at the beginning, but in the middle. When it's no longer exciting. When it's not visible yet. When the results are still catching up to the effort. That's where discipline becomes your only support. And if you've built it properly, you don't stop. You adjust, you refine, you continue quietly. And one day, without warning, the same people who didn't believe in you will start asking how you did it. Not because you convinced them, but because you showed them. And by then, you won't feel the need to explain much. Because the work will speak for you. And more importantly, you'll know who you've become. Not based on their opinion, but based on your actions. And that's something no one can take from you. So if it still feels like no one believes in you, let it stay that way a little longer. Use it. Build in silence. Stay consistent. And become someone who doesn't need permission to rise. Comment, I don't need approval.